This is the Lotro completionist run from Gwathorn's Games. And last time I said I would be doing a whole bunch of instances in this video, but I found out in the course of doing this first one that these are all multiplayer instances, and so they don't come within the range of this run, which is single player completionist. But I decided to keep the video of Iobar's peak here, and I just took the rest of them off the list. So once I've done this instance, we'll go back to normal adventuring. Need to go back to Guruth. But this is being done at a lower level, obviously, than my character, to make up for the fact that it's a 3-player instance. There are 2 bosses in Iobar's Peak, as well as all of these groups that are mostly taken care of by rain of arrows. Now, this guy taunts you and you've got to get right up close for him to become targetable. And it keeps on adding more. So my melee attack, low cut, is also AoE, but the boss there is going to keep throwing stuff. You can see the markings on the ground. One of the other instances for this sequence called The Road to Lonely Mountain has a boss that throws things so much it blankets the entire battle area. And if you can't survive one of the hits, you can't do the instance, not solo. But this one I should be able to do. The second boss is at the top of the hill, also throws stuff. And also brings on waves of ads. Pretty big. They're running around in a circle, but I just ignored them, took that out. You talk to the eagle and get the reward. And that's it. Yeah, I didn't want to just leave it out of the video, but it doesn't really count being a 3-man instance. Okay, so now I'm in Guruth in the Lone Lands, the last major place in the Lone Lands, and I'm picking up every side quest it has. You can get more than the 10 here, but I decided as soon as I picked up that hunter-only quest to unlock the travel to Guruth, I'd do that first, straight away. Because then it doesn't matter about milestones and stuff. I can keep on returning to Guruth as much as I like. Since I've got to go in multiple directions from here to do the questing, it's going to be very useful. So I've got that now on my list of teleports. I added the next book of the epic to my list, but then switched it off. You'll be able to pick that up at level 30. And now the reason I went off to the last bridge here by a fast travel I had an idea that I would find bingo here. The title of the quest is The End, and I thought that meant the last bridge. But if you read the scroll differently, it says Guruth. I'll pick him up later. Now I'm going to do the spiders, which are the lowest level set of quests that you can get from Osguruth. I've got one turquoise quest for wargs still on the list, but that came from the middle of the Lone Lands. The cousin and the people near him. But I've got to cover this area well enough to find all the spider sacks, and taking out enough ordinary spiders, it's no problem at all. But there are 3 bosses, and one of them is not always easy to find. It's a good thing I'm a hunter. I'll be able to track it once I've done everything else. Right, I'm going to jump over here because there is a bit of a gap. And now this is the same boss again. I had to take out the trapper twice. It respawned so fast. The place where I was fighting it just then was right above where I fought it the first time. And that was the Weaver, so that's 2 of the bosses. I need the spinner now. Got enough ordinary spiders. There's a couple more egg sacs. That's it, that's done. So now it's just the spinner. Now, the first time I tried to hunt it, it wasn't on the list. It can appear up on the mountain where I just was, but more often down here in the valley. So I came down here and searched for it again, and there it is. So I'll take out its minions anyway, and now that's that whole group done. So I use my new teleport ability to Osguruth, and that's 4 quests to hand in. Yeah, one of these gives me some of the quests to the fort across the main road, and this bowyer gives me the rest. So now I go straight off over the other side of the main road and start taking out the orcs here. There's 1 boss and there's 2 sets of items to collect. I was worried about that player. I thought he might run ahead of me taking everything I need, but after that I didn't see him again. And I started out the back here because I knew this is where there was a whole lot of corpses and barrels to get. And plenty of the orcs I need. Now, when you go around behind this building, you temporarily cross a border into a place that's associated with the Troll Shores. I guess the Angor Mythithal. But I didn't encounter anything of too high a level. And now I've got all the barrels. I have 1 or 2 corpses to get. Now that's the last corpse. So now I've got to get a particular combination of orcs, the dreadful archers, and the angry Tarcrips, plus the boss. So take out the minions, and there's the slaughterer. So I gave him the usual Heartseeker treatment. Jump down to do the western end of the fort. Right, 1 more of each, I think. Yeah, that's the angered ones done. No, I've got them all. So straight back to Guruth. Shrink the size of the list. You can start accumulating a lot of stuff in your inventory at this stage if you don't keep an eye on it and empty it out. Yeah, he's given me more stuff that's generally to the east. And I mithrilled straight up to the top of this hill, Dalvaig, because my list is so full I didn't get the undead quests yet, and wait until the list shrinks. But there's always plenty of these boars on the slope of Dalvaig. And I have quests for wargs and Crebain. And I know that there's this place to the south that has plenty of both. But the wargs here, which are a bit higher level than others in Lone Lands, don't fulfill all of the warg quests. I've got plenty of Crebain to take out, which is better than searching for them one by one. So now I'm going to bring down the wargs, and warg furs and warg paws I'm getting, but there's another one. Simply says defeat wargs in Nain Enidv, and this is just outside of that zone. So I'll have to go searching for more somewhere else. I would have still come here for the Crebain if I'd known. Now we can head back towards the last bridge because there's the water quest to do. Fill up from the river and straight back to Dalvaig. So I can hand in a couple of things here. And that sent me up a level. When I saw that all the quests were getting white or dark blue, I turned experience back on again. So now I'm level 29. And now I'll put the undead quests back on the list. And I'm looking for the other kinds of wargs. Don't want any of the crows. So I just had a quick look around for what I could find easily and then started using the tracking ability. Okay, searching. They were easy to find on the list because they're the only things remaining that are still turquoise. Okay. Don't want the crow. Just head towards the big red dot on the mini map. The tracking ability does have a cooldown, which slows you a bit. But I decided before finishing that I would hand in the rest of the quests that I have, the Crebain one and other warg quests, and get rid of stray inventory, including those chests. As I've said before, I never keep more than 2 of them in my inventory, and I've never needed both because keys are pretty rare as random gifts. Yeah, he's sending me to kill trolls, which I'm going to leave till towards the end of doing this zone. So I took that off the list because the trolls are all elites, so it's going to take some time. I could wait until the epic sends me there around about level 48, but it would leave it hanging around on my list for too long. The trolls would be grey by then. All right, finish off wargs, one more. There it is. Yeah, I've got to report that one in. Right back in the middle of the lowlands, near the Lawnspan Bridge. Old Mugwort, now he's got something else to do. A boss warg in a strange place right in the middle of the empty fields here. Now, on the way over, I found this stone table. I actually didn't know that that was the thing that summons the warg, especially since he took a long time to turn up. There he goes. I took him out, threw it back to old Mugwort, and now I've finished with this little area and with the last turquoise quest. So there's more to hand in here. Now I'm down to doing things for Radagast again and for Hannah, who stands outside. I've got to take out Norbog for Hannah and search bog nests. And some of the stalkers there have stealth ability. Bog prowlers, that's who I mean. And it's not too hard to find these nests. The map will tell you when there's only a few left where they are. We've got one of each here, one Norbog, one nest. Got the Norbogs now. One more nest. Get the, doing that one odd white started out my deed for whites in this zone. And now we're advancing the epic. Now he wants me to take out whites in Haragmar, so that lines up with the undead quests I got at the top of the hill. Now I'm searching around for Bingo and finally found him. I had done that once before, but just couldn't remember it. Talked to him, and now that string of quests goes red, so I've taken it off the list. But that's into the Troll Shores. Troll Shores creatures begin at level 35. Right, got to get enough whites. One of the quests, you can get them from a wider area than the others, but most of them do have to come from the fort or its immediate environs. So I don't need to fight the elite ones yet. That'll be the next stage of the quest string. Right, once I get inside the fort here, I'll be able to get plenty more. And at random, some of them are also yielding the treasures I'm supposed to be getting. Right. And these two should be all I need. So I didn't need to climb up high. So I'll report the side quests first, and now use my new teleport ability to come back and talk to Radagast again. Radagast the Brown, Radagast the Bird Tamer, Radagast the Fool, said Saruman. And now back over to the same fort to take out 5 of the elites plus the master of the ruin. And I usually ignore the master of the ruin because I find him so hard to locate. He goes on a big journey, and following the pointer towards him, this is the second of the 5. Following the pointer towards him, I thought he was right up high, and I couldn't find a way up there. So these ordinary ones are just in my way. But there will be another of the 5 further up here. Over there. And then I tried to find the way up to that top of the... I could see creatures up there, but I never found the way you could get up to them. Eventually, running round and round, I came upon the boss making his rounds in a lower spot. Now, I found this little isolated rotunda and thought that might be the way up, and it led me to another protector. But that one didn't count even as one of the 5, and it was not the boss. So I thought I could remember getting up somewhere up this end, so I came back here a couple of times. And just had to keep taking things out until I came upon the master by chance. I couldn't leave him out as I would normally do because this is completionist. Yep. I took out another of the 5, which is a respawn, of course. There are 3 of them that are pretty easy to find, and then you can just go back and do a couple of respawns. That's how I normally do it. No, can't jump up here. To this day, I don't know how you get onto the highest levels to fight the creatures up there. And I was convinced that that was where the master would be. But finally found him there. I ended up cutting some of the video, but there's the master done. And I just needed to go for respawns again of 5 Gaunt Lords. There's 4, and redo this one that I did first. Heartseeker's taking them out pretty easily. So once again, report the side quests first. That's the master's quest. And back to Radagast. Now, the next stage of the epic is way down the south edge here, Arik the Stone Speaker, and that talking to him put me up to level 30. Now, he's got a fellowship quest, which doesn't count for the run. These bounty quests do. And there's another quest giver here. You've got to fight his 2 opponents. And a bit more side questing here. But before I went off to do all of that, I was just looking at how it is geographically. I decided to do the other odds and ends first. I've set my campfire to Agamor not Agamor, the place in the south, so that I can get back easily. But I wanted to come here to Bree to do my level 30 hunter quest. And you go to the same guy that gives you the level 15 promotion quest. But this time it's an instance in the Shire at Overhill. This is an instance version of Overhill. And you've just got to know where the wargs are going to come from. In this, I actually found the boss first, which usually you get him last. Yeah, 3 or 4 more, and that's it done. Right, we go back to Adzo's camp, and that is a good bow. That's better than the one I had. So I've just gained a few points of DPS. I will gain some more when I hit level 32, and better armour as well.